So, have you noticed how astrology seems to be absolutely everywhere lately? I mean, it's all over your social media feeds, it pops up in conversations with friends. It's a huge cultural shift. Today, we're going to dig into why this ancient practice is having such a massive modern comeback. And that's the really fascinating part, isn't it? Here you have this ancient practice, something that science has pretty much dismissed, and yet it's not just surviving in our digital age, it's thriving. So, how is that even possible? Well, we're about to find out. All right, so first up, let's just get a handle on this modern revival. How big is this cultural phenomenon really? And what does it actually look like today? What researchers find so remarkable is where this boom is happening. We're talking about highly industrialized, modern societies where astrology has moved from being this kind of fringe interest into a totally mainstream cultural trend. It's a really interesting contradiction. Okay, so here's the key to understanding this whole thing. The way people use astrology has fundamentally changed. It's shifted from the simple fortune telling you'd find in newspaper horoscopes to something way more personal. It's become a sophisticated language for self exploration and, believe it or not, even mindfulness. So, how does that actually work in practice? Let's explore how people are using the stars as a real tool for personal insight. At the very core of modern astrology is the birth chart. Now, this isn't seen as some crystal ball that predicts your destiny. Instead, think of it as a detailed map of your inner world. It's like a metaphor for your unique emotional blueprint, captured at the exact moment you were born. And this map is read through symbols. It's almost like taking an inventory of your emotional toolkit. So the moon represents your gut instincts and your need to feel safe. Venus reveals how you connect with others and experience love. And Mars? Well, that reflects how you set boundaries and even how you handle anger. But the goal here isn't to just slap a label on you and say that's who you are forever. Not at all. It's really about self-awareness. The idea is that by seeing these tendencies mapped out, you can start to recognize your own patterns and default reactions, which allows you to make more conscious choices instead of just being ruled by them. And this, of course, leads to the next big question. If a birth chart can map out your own inner world, what can it possibly tell us about how we interact with other people? Which brings us right to our third section, mapping relationships. We'll get into how this astrological language is used to understand the dynamics between people. This practice actually has a name. It's called synastry. And it's basically the art of comparing two birth charts. You're literally laying one emotional map over another to see where the energies align and where they might create a little bit of friction. So in practice, an astrologer might focus on Venus, the planet of love and attraction. By comparing how one person's Venus interacts with the other person's chart, they look for connections that might highlight harmony, that initial spark of attraction, and even potential areas of tension in the relationship. Okay, so why does all of this feel so potent to so many people? Let's explore the deeper reasons why this whole symbolic system seems to resonate so strongly right now. And this really gets to the psychological heart of the matter, beyond just being a fun personality quiz. Why does this ancient system of symbols feel so meaningful to people in this day and age? Well, the psychologist Carl Jung had a really compelling theory about this. He didn't believe in astrology literally, but he saw it as a symbolic language that taps into what he called the collective unconscious, a kind of shared primal memory bank of symbols and stories that all humans have. For Jung, the planets and the signs are basically archetypes that mirror our deepest inner dynamics. Just take a symbol like the moon. Across so many cultures and throughout all of history, it's represented cycles, emotions, mystery. When astrology uses these ancient symbols, it's not just inventing meaning out of thin air. It's tapping into a deep, universal library of human experience that just resonates with us intuitively. And all of this brings us to the ultimate takeaway here, the core function of astrology in the modern world. So first, let's be crystal clear about what it doesn't do. For most people who use it today, it's not about getting definitive answers or predictions about the future. Instead, what it offers is a language. It provides a vocabulary for all those complex feelings and experiences that are often so hard to articulate. The intuitive, almost pre-verbal parts of who we are. And that language becomes a really practical tool. It's a way to observe yourself with more compassion and more clarity, to understand your own internal weather patterns without any judgment. So, we'll leave you with this thought. If your life is a story that you're still writing, What could you learn from just reading its table of contents? What modern astrology suggests is that it's not about predicting the ending, but about understanding the themes and the characters that make your story uniquely yours. So, what might you discover by taking a look?